Hello everybody, Jake here for FMSCOUT. Welcome to the video. Today we're looking at another Wonder Kid to see how they progress in the newest episode of Wonderkids to Superstars. And before we get into which player we're going to look at, I'd just like to say if you want to see a specific player done in these videos, let me know in the comments so that we know who to do in the next few episodes of this series. So if you have a favourite Wonder Kid or anything like that, let me know down below. Don't forget to hit the like button if you do enjoy the video and hit subscribe if you do enjoy content like this. And if you want to, turn the notification bell on too. With that being said, let's get straight into the player, no wasting time, and let's introduce the video. Obviously, you saw me with Borussia Dortmund. There's a few players who we could have done. I actually tried to do two players in this same simulation. I tried to do Gio Reyna and Jude Bellingham, but Jude Bellingham turned out much better, so he's going to be the player that we look at today. The 17-year-old English international is one of the better Wonder Kids on this year's Football Manager, I'd say, and one of the most expensive too, purely due to the fact that, he is English. That does add a big price tag onto him, and he was bought already by Dortmund from Birmingham, so they're not exactly going to be looking to sell him straight away. He had a good start to his career in the Championship with Birmingham. He wants to push on that little bit higher, so he moved to Borussia Dortmund, and so far so well for his career, I'd say, over there. Another England international who has gone overseas, and in Football Manager his ability is reflected. He's very good in game. Quite often you find him becoming one of the best young midfielders in the world. Hopefully we see the same results here today. Before we go into his attributes, I'd like to say that I do not put his potential to the max. I just load up a save and see what happens. That way you're not seeing a really over dramatic interpretation of what this player would be at his maximum potential. His potential could be higher than this, his potential could be lower than this when you start a save, but all in all, Jude Bellingham usually turns out to be a pretty solid player. So don't know what his potential is here. It's random. We're going to see what happens. Will he become a world-class player? He is classed as a 2.5-star player currently at Borussia Dortmund. We don't take too much interpretation from these stars, but we can kind of see his level compared to the rest of the squad. And yeah, potential to be 4.5-star possibly. Not a 5-star maximum, but we'll see. I'm not really fully trusting these stars. I think he can still do very well. We're going to simulate until he's 20, 21 years old, something like that, 4 seasons, see how he does. I have already simulated it ahead, and I can tell you that he does very well. I haven't looked into the exact details of each little statistic that he has, but I know that his attributes have grown quite well, and his value has shot up massively. So here he is at 17. We can see physically he's got some strong attributes here, other than his strength surprisingly, but everything else looks pretty decent. I believe he has made his England debut in real life now, so that 0 caps should be won soon. But yeah, he's quick, good balance, naturally fit, and basically everything you'd expect for a 17-year-old physically. He's going to develop, of course he is, and it's the same with mental attributes. Already got some decent attributes of 14 determination, 13 flair, vision and work rate, which will all help him in the position we're going to use him, which is Mazzala in attack. And then technically he's pretty good too, nothing too stand out. We're not seeing any blue attributes, which blue for me is 15 plus, I believe. So hopefully we'll see a few of them as he starts to develop, and he has player traits of getting to the opposition area and getting forward whenever possible. I think he'll be perfectly suited to a Mazzala role in a gegenpress, which incidentally is what the Borussia Dortmund board want me to play, so that will hopefully help me not get sacked. Now in terms of how much you can buy Jude Bellingham for, I think he's pretty hard to get your hands on. I know he is available to buy after a season or two, but you're probably looking at the upwards ends of 50 million, so 50, 60, 70 million, depending on how good he is in your save. So it's a lot of money, but of course you can loan him if you want to, and I think he's more going to be a player that is suited for the bigger sides, and he's already playing at Borussia Dortmund, so you're not exactly going to be able to get him for your Mansfield team or something. So he does look very good. I know some of you guys are interested in this thing, so I'd just like to show you we are putting him on a Mazzala duty in attack in his training with an additional focus on shooting, which will hopefully help boost his finishing, long shots and technique. Obviously Mazzala is a role that kind of means that Bellingham will get forward, get a little bit wide too in these midfield positions, pick up some space and hopefully get a few shots off. So I'm kind of hoping for some goals and assists. We put him on double intensity too due to his age, and in case anyone is interested, his mentoring group involves Gio Reyna too, because obviously like I said I tried to do him but it didn't work out so well. And then Marco Reus and Mats Hummels. Marco Reus with a nice bit of determination and a good personality in driven, and then Mats Hummels has a model citizen personality with some decent determination too. Hopefully Jude Bellingham can pick up a little bit from these guys and become a model citizen. That'll be good to see. But with that being said, we'll first simulate 2 years time, check on his attributes, then simulate another 2 years, check his milestones, whether he won the league, whether he won any kind of awards, anything like that. So first of all, 2 years ahead, let's do a quick time travel thing and see what happens. Okay, so here we are just about to start the 3rd season, it looks like, for Borussia Dortmund this year. We've just finished the 2nd season. If we go to the squad, that's not how you do it, Jake. You've played this game for long enough, you should know. Jude Bellingham, here he is, only valued at 4.7 million so far. This is in 2022 if anyone's interested, which I don't believe has gone up too much, but it might have even have gone down, I don't know. But we can see he is starting to develop into a very good player. At the age of 19, he's classed as 3.5 stars in this Borussia Dortmund team with still plenty of potential to improve. The same player traits still exist, but he now has a model citizen personality, which should aid him in his development. He has a media description of Wonderkid now too, which means, he should hopefully go far and fulfill his potential. Physically, he's got a little bit better. Strength has had a pretty good increase in the 4 years in the future bit. That's when we'll look at just how much these attributes have gone up by. But off the top of my head, he seems to have picked up a bit of speed too, a bit of fitness, which you would expect, as I said, as he started to get older. Still no England cap though. His off the ball, vision, technique, passing, long shots and finishing all seem to have gone up to a very decent level. 14s and 15s all around make for a pretty good player. If we actually look in the Mazzala role, he's only classed as a 3-star player, but again, not taking too much interest in these star ratings. But he is doing pretty well for himself, so let's go and have a look how he's performing in game, playing every game pretty much for Borussia Dortmund. We can see his first season was pretty successful for a 17-year-old, to be honest. 34 games played, 5 goals and 6 assists from central midfield. That is very good. But then his next season, he's absolutely smashed it out of the park. 34 games played, 11 goals, 14 assists. That's 25 goal contributions in 34 games, pretty much a goal contribution every game and a half, so that's very good, with a 7.11 average match rating from central midfield. Nice to see there from Jude Bellingham in only his second season in the Bundesliga with Borussia Dortmund, so he's doing very well for them. In terms of goals and assists, this is actually better than Yusuf Demir, who was the last video I did. If you want to check that out, feel free. But yeah, considering Demir was an attacking player and Bellingham, as much as he is attacking, he is sitting in the central midfield more. I think he's doing really well for himself. He is one of the more forward, I'll show you the tactic. He's one of the players that's getting forward a bit more than some of the others, but still, you've got the fact that Sancho, Haaland, Reina all probably picking up goals instead of him, so I think he is doing very well for himself there. Really impressed with his technique, vision and off the ball. Obviously, as a central midfielder, especially Mazzala, is going to be getting up and down, and with those physicals and mentals, he's just going to keep working hard, and then he's actually got the technique to finish it off as well with his technical stats. So Bellingham looking very good. Surely he's going to get a few England caps by year 4, so we're going to simulate to the end of a simulation where he should be 21, I think he'll be 21 in 4 years time, 2024. Let's see how he's got on. So let's do a quick transition and see what he looks like. Okay, and some massive improvements for Bellingham here. Before we go into it too much, I would just like to say, if you look in the description, you will find a link to my channel where we're getting very close to 900 subscribers and therefore 1000 subscribers, which was my ultimate aim for my own channel. So if you guys want to go and check that out, that would mean the world to me. And also, if you want to follow me on Twitter too, I'm actually going to start using it now, I promise. If you follow me on Twitter, the link to that is also in the description, so you can keep up with the things I'm doing there, and hopefully you'll enjoy following me on Twitter. So Jude Bellingham, 21 years old, his value has increased massively from 4.5 million, something like that, to £62 million. Absolutely insane in terms of a value increase. So then if you try to buy him, you'd probably be expecting around 100 million for a 21-year-old English central midfielder. His star rating doesn't seem to have increased too much. He's still got room to grow. No longer classed as a Wonderkid, as he is 21, and he does want a new deal apparently, but it looks like he's already got one since the last time we saw him, so he's obviously growing with the stature of the club. Attributes wise, I can't see too many more improvements. I did put a focus on final third, so I'm hoping that his composure and decisions went up in these last couple of years. But from what I can tell, physically he's kind of stayed the same. Mentally he's got a bit better and technically a little better too. We'll have a look properly into it. But I think all round for a 21-year-old central midfielder, he's definitely really good. There probably are better players technically, better players physically, better players mentally. But I think the combination of all three, Jude is very well all-rounded. For example, if you had Pedri in your midfield, he might be a bit more technically rounded, but is he going to do a job defensively, put in a full shift for the team, working back and forth? I'm not sure. No offence to Pedri there, I just think this Jude Bellingham is a different kind of player. He's a hard worker, 11 caps for England now, and 3 goals actually, so he's doing well for himself there. Hopefully his statistics back him up when we go and look at his history. But yeah, develop him really nicely. Let's first have a look at his progress. Actually, let's first check if he got any injuries in these 4 years. Considering he was on double intensity and playing every game, he didn't really do too bad. A couple of ankle injuries, a couple of groin strains, but nothing too bad across his 4 years here. He's actually done pretty well for himself there. And if we go to progress and set it to attributes, and then go to all time, we can see how he has developed. Now, compared to Yusuf Demir, who I did last time, he hasn't developed as much, but I still think I'd rather have Jude Bellingham in my team, just because, central midfielders, every team's pretty much going to have one. Whether it's a box-to-box midfielder, Mazzala, or attacking playmaker, maybe even deep line playmaker, I'm not so sure about that one. But I think Jude Bellingham will probably play a lot of roles very well. Physically, as we did expect, he went up in acceleration and in strength, but it seemed like his stamina, jumping reach and balance all went up, which I wasn't expecting. I wasn't really looking at that. Good physically, by the time he's 22, 23, a few more blues on here. He's going to be an exceptional player. 15s all round and 16s for a central midfielder. Nothing to complain about there. If anything, that's actually really good. Mentally, he's done all right. He's got a +2 in vision, which is now 16, +1 in off the ball, which is also 16, +2 in decisions, composure and anticipation. doing very well for himself. Did I say vision or decisions there? I don't know. Either way, you can just see some mental improvements, which is as players get older, if you don't already know, their mentals are still going to go up. So Jude Bellingham has still got room to grow here. His determination never went up from 14. If you started a save and he had higher determination than that, you'd probably get a better performance out of him. Like I say, he could be on the low end of his potential here or the high end. I imagine he's more on the middle scale. So for you guys, he might do even better. And I'm sure if you look, he's probably won a few like golden balls in some of your saves, whatever they call it, for the young players. Golden boy, that's it, not golden ball. He might have won a few of them. And then technically, I would have liked to have seen a bit more improvement, but like I said, I'm not focusing him all on passing, all on technique. Jude Bellingham is very much an all-round player, and the fact that his important statistics, there's nothing really below 14, 15, so dribbling is 15, finishing is 14, which is actually really good for a central midfielder. First touch at 14, long shots at 14, passing at 15, technique at 16, everything that he should need in that central midfield position, he's got. But at the age of 21, I think Jude Bellingham has some very good promise here. How did he do then? After that second season we looked at, he topped it in the next season, getting 13 goals and 12 assists with a 7.09, so less average match rating, but kind of overall around a 7 in all of his seasons, I'd say. Best goal scoring season here with 13, with 12 assists though, doing pretty well for himself. And then the next season, not so much. It looks like he must have picked up an injury because he missed quite a few games, so you can imagine if he played an extra 5 games, he probably would have hit 10 and 8, something like that. But 16 goals and 15 assists across all competitions. And yeah, he's actually been really exceptional for a central midfielder. For a Mazzali, you're not really expecting these many returns, especially in a team as star-studded as Borussia Dortmund's is. But he's done really well for himself. He would definitely fetch a pretty penny if Borussia Dortmund wanted to sell him. But I think importantly, let's go and have a look at his milestones. Did Borussia Dortmund win anything with him at the club? I'm going to assume they did. So we're going to start off with competitions. Start off with the year we brought him in. They came second in the Super Cup and then got his first England under-21 cap. Then they actually came second in the Champions League, which is great to see for Borussia Dortmund. They then went and won the Bundesliga. The year after, they won the Bundesliga again, won the Super Cup. He won the Euros under-21s with England. He played for England and scored for England too. Then the next season, they won the Bundesliga again. So Borussia Dortmund definitely got better and actually took over in the last few years as the dominant team in Germany with Jude Bellingham in the side. He broke the Super Cup record for the youngest player to appear in a match. Whether that's just one of them Football Manager records or an actual record, I'm not sure. And then if we go to awards, did he do anything special? Let's have a look. So he was named in the Bundesliga Team of the Week first season. Nothing too spectacular there. A few more Team of the Weeks in his second season and named in Borussia Dortmund's best team. And then here you go, this is what you want to see. In 2022, he was named European Golden Boy. And in 2023, he was named it too. So Jude Bellingham, according to this, whether his star ratings or attributes showed it, in terms of his performances, he was the best young player in the world at the time. He was named in the Under-21 Championship Dream Team, named in the Bundesliga Team of the Year, won Under-21 Footballer of the Year, won the Next Generation Award, previously won by the likes of Ansu Fati. So yeah, doing absolutely spectacularly here is Jude Bellingham. Some nice regen faces there. Named in the Bundesliga Team of the Year, named Bundesliga Player of the Week. He is the best young player in the world, 2 golden boys, and my word, he is going to go on to be a superstar in this save and in real life too. Can easily guarantee when he's 23, 24, his ability is going to be at least 4 stars. Obviously, he is being compared to some very good players in this Dortmund team. His mental attributes will definitely increase and hopefully his technicals will get a little bit of an increase too. I think Jude Bellingham, even at the start, was a very good all-round player. He is now the best young player in the world, so fair play to him. I think this has been a very successful test. Less attribute growth than some people, but if you were to balance up attribute growth or actual performance in game, I think most people would rather their players play better. So I think Jude Bellingham has done really well for himself there, and that will be the end of today's video. So if you did enjoy it, don't forget to hit the like button and let us know in the comments down below who you'd like to see next. Do you think Jude Bellingham did well here? Is he better in your save? Is he worse? Let me know, and also hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. I've been Jake for FMSCOUT. Don't forget to check out my channel if you want to, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. So stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.